World records are supposed to be about glory, history, and pushing human limits, but sometimes things don't go as planned. From dangerous stunts to heartbreaking disqualifications, let's look at the most shocking times when chasing a record ended in disaster. Nicholas Mavoli, born in 1981 in New York, was a passionate freediver aiming to set an American record for the deepest dive without fins. On November 17, 2013, at Dean's Blue Hole in Long Island, Bahamas, he plunged to 72 meters, beating the 71-meter mark. But on his ascent, his body gave out. He signaled OK before surfacing, only to lose consciousness from shallow water blackout. Medics tried to revive him for 30 minutes, but Mavoli, 32, died from cardiac arrest. His push for 101 meters, the world record, proved too much, leaving the diving community reeling. Salyendra Nath Roy, born in 1965 in India, was a stuntman famous for hair-pulling feats, like dragging a 40-ton train. On April 28, 2013, over the Teesta River in Jalpaiguri, West Bengal, he attempted a 180-meter hair zip line to beat his own record. Halfway across, his ponytail snagged. He dangled for 25 minutes, gasping for air. Spectators watched in horror as Roy, 48, suffered a heart attack, his body frozen mid-air. Police cut him down too late. He died on the spot, turning his final stunt into a grim spectacle. Javad Police Baniyan, born in 1960 Tehran, was a daredevil stunt rider, chasing the record for jumping over the most buses on a motorcycle. On July 10, 2005, at Azadi Stadium in Tehran, Iran, he aimed to leap over 24 buses, beating the 23 bus mark. His bike wobbled mid-air, slamming into the ramp. Police Baniyan, 45, suffered fatal head injuries. The crowd fell silent as medics rushed him away, his dream ending in a heap of twisted metal and shattered ambition. Guy Garman, aka Doc Deep, born in 1950s in the US, was a veteran diver obsessed with depths. On April 22, 2016, off Fort Lauderdale, Florida, he attempted a recreational scuba dive to 1,200 feet, eyeing a Guinness record. His trimix gas failed at 1,000 feet. Garman, in his late 50s, suffered nitrogen narcosis and drowned. Divers recovered his body days later, his push for the abyss claiming him in the dark. Lowell Bayliss, born in 1900 in Illinois, was a stunt pilot in aviation's golden age. On September 6, 1931, at the National Air Races in Cleveland, Ohio, he aimed to break the 3-kilometer land plane speed record. His GB Model Z hit 300 miles per hour, but the fuel cap loosened, shattering the windshield and striking his head. Bayliss, 31, lost control, crashing fatally. His record stood briefly, a fleeting victory in a blaze of speed. Jessie Combs, known as the fastest woman on 4 wheels, was a fearless racer, TV host, and a skilled metal fabricator. She first gained recognition through shows like Mythbusters and Overhauling, but it was her passion for speed that defined her. After setting land speed records in 2013 and 2016, she set her sights on breaking Kitty O'Neill's 1976 women's land speed record. In August 2019, while attempting to run across Oregon's Alvord Desert in a jet-powered car, tragedy struck. Traveling at an astonishing 842 kilometers per hour, which is 522 miles per hour, her vehicle crashed, killing her instantly. Later, Guinness officially recognized her speed as a record posthumously, cementing her as the fastest woman on Earth. Though her life ended in pursuit of her dream, her legacy continues to inspire courage and determination. Some record attempts don't just fail, they end in tragedy. In June 2023, the world watched in shock as OceanGate's Titan submersible vanished during an expedition to the Titanic wreck site in the North Atlantic. The vessel carried 5 passengers: OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, British billionaire Hamish Harding, French Titanic expert Paul Hendry Nargileh, and Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood with his 19-year-old son, Suleiman. The dive was meant to be a groundbreaking adventure, but communication with the surface was lost less than 2 hours in. a massive international search began, fueled by fears that oxygen supplies were running out. 4 days later, debris from Titan was found on the ocean floor, confirming it had imploded under immense pressure, killing all on board instantly. Investigations soon revealed that safety concerns had been repeatedly raised about Titan's design, particularly its experimental carbon fiber hull and lack of certification. Critics argued that these warnings were ignored in the rush for innovation. In 2014, 17-year-old Harris Suleiman and his father, Baba Suleiman, embarked on an ambitious mission to fly around the world in their small single-engine plane. The journey wasn't just about setting a world record, it was also a heartfelt fundraiser to support underprivileged schools in Pakistan. Harris aimed to become the youngest pilot to complete such a trip, while his father carefully mapped a route close to shipping lanes for added safety. Their adventure inspired many, showcasing courage, ambition, and a deep love for giving back. Tragically, disaster struck shortly after they took off from Pago Pago in American Samoa. Their plane crashed into the Pacific. Harris's body was recovered, but Baba's remains were never found. The tragedy devastated their family, yet their dream to use adventure as a way to uplift others still lives on, remembered as a powerful story of hope, ambition, and heartbreaking loss. Tightrope walking has always been one of the most dangerous records to chase. Several performers over the years attempted to break records for the highest or longest tightrope walks, but many of these attempts ended in falls, injuries, and even deaths. Guinness eventually introduced strict safety rules for such records. If any world record seemed harmless, it was releasing balloons, but Cleveland's Balloon Fest '86 turned into disaster. Hoping to rebrand the city, organizers filled a massive net with 1.4 million helium balloons. When released, they created a dazzling spectacle, but storms pushed them over highways, closing airports, spooking horses, and scattering debris as far as Canada. Most tragically, 2 fishermen drowned after rescuers couldn't spot them among the colorful mass floating on Lake Erie. The event, meant to erase Cleveland's mistake on the lake reputation, instead cemented it, with lawsuits, injuries, and ridicule. The lesson: even balloons can become deadly when ambition overshadows planning. Jesus half-animal Villa, a former Cirque du Soleil acrobat, was no stranger to Guinness World Records. He held multiple titles, including double backflips and record-breaking stilt performances. In 2012, he even covered 37 miles on stilts within 24 hours, cheered on by Pamela Anderson. For his 7th record attempt, jumping through 10 panes of tempered glass, Villa partnered with True TV's Guinness World Records Gone Wrong. But disaster struck. He claimed the crew altered his equipment, and on his first attempt, the trampoline launched him into the glass, shattering it and breaking his neck. Half of his neck and spine required titanium reconstruction, leaving him permanently impaired despite years of rehab. Even worse, his recovery fundraiser was targeted by cruel online trolls, a reminder that disability deserves compassion, not ridicule. From sandwiches eaten too soon to submarines that never returned, these stories prove that chasing a world record isn't always about glory. Sometimes it ends in heartbreak, chaos, or even tragedy. So, the next time you see someone breaking a record, remember, behind the cheers, there's always risk. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the darker side of world records, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next story might be even wilder.